This past Saturday, the people of Yamatic and Mauricio had the chance to be part of education decisions, rightfully so. The education agenda doesn't belong to the government, it belongs to you. Tonight, the people of Inarajan will have the same opportunity, and almost every day until July 7th, we'll be going into each village bringing this agenda to you, and you have the chance to be heard. A hallmark of our administration is to be open and transparent. That doesn't mean just that we tell you what we're doing, it also means that you are open to this government so you can be part of the decision-making process. In the very same way, we view decisions on government finances on decisions that deal squarely with your money. After all, the government would have nothing to spend without you working hard and paying your taxes. Government doesn't exist without you. I'm bringing this up because the Legislative Finance Committee is once again gearing up to entertain us with the annual budget. For many people, this is a yearly spectacle of politics at its worst, where good punchlines and a lot of misinformation becomes the entertainment on the 6 o'clock news. Last year, we made a very big deal out of the budget, and for good reason. First of all, we fought very hard to pay your tax refunds. That was half the battle. The other part of it was getting a good budgeting of your tax dollars so that the government can continue paying for your tax refunds and other services. Not just that, we need to pay our vendors and provide the quality services you deserve and expect. We thought it was a fight worth fighting, and we still think that, because essentially we are fighting for your money and the good use of it. But it didn't have to be a fight. We submitted a budget last year, and we were very open about everything. We provided justifications. We made one mistake, and we corrected it. We provided all the data that was needed. We showed up to answer all the questions, even though some senators kept interrupting and clearly didn't hear the answers. What struck the governor and I as odd was that we went to the legislature with a realistic budget that was different from the past 3 budgets. We thought it was odd that the Democratic leadership would fight so hard against a different budget simply because we were just trying to correct 3 bad budgets in a row before it. Those budgets led to the major deficit that was mainly made up of your tax refunds. All we wanted to do was fix it. We started with a realistic revenue. We prioritized spending on the limited resources. This came up after we cut spending on personnel and other costs. We did the right thing, what you elected us to do. But instead, our people were yelled at. All of you were treated to the numbers here and charts there, and all these insinuations that we were either wrong or that we didn't know what we were talking about. Worst, some even insinuated that we were just storing money away in some fairy tale account. Well, it's been a year since that fiasco, and a lot has happened. For one, all the prior year tax refunds were paid in December. And for the first time in 20 years, those who filed their tax refunds this year either already received it or will get it in the same year that you filed. And for the first time ever, cash was put away in the tax refund account for you. We kept this government afloat, despite the tinkering from the finances that came from the Legislative Office of Finance and Budget. We'd work with Democrats and Republicans alike, as we always do, in the legislature on fiscal reform and other issues, and the more efficient use of your money. All of that work continues because we recognize that things aren't perfect, but they're better than they've been in a long time. The government was going in the wrong direction with bad budgets on 2009, 2010, and 2011, 3 years in a row, drummed up by the current Office of Finance and Budget that criticizes us all the time. All the facts point to a reversal of this bad trend. The 2012 budget is pretty much on track, and a lot of the sins of the past have been corrected. Our validation? Standard & Poor's gave Guam the best ratings we've ever had, upgraded another rating, and affirmed all the rest. We've literally taken that to the bank. Now that we have a track record of doing what we say we're going to do, I am pleading with senators to listen to what we have to say as the budget hearings progress. Please tune out all that rhetoric and yelling that we saw last year. If they put another chart in front of you that doesn't make sense, it's probably because it doesn't add up. And if they tell you that they've reworked the numbers based on the data, just think about all the mischief that the people of Wall Street created when they ruined so many people's lives with creative accounting. We've always stood ready to answer questions and provide information about the people's tax dollars. We can have a civil debate about these matters, one that is professional and understandable, and without hidden agendas. My colleagues in the legislature, we're not just talking about some budgets in the sky that mean nothing to no one. We're talking about the money that our people entrusted to us. This is the money that was taken out of their paychecks to pay for this government. That's money that could be used by them to pay for their food, their bills, mortgage, rent, or daycare. We have a solemn duty to treat this process with respect that our people deserve. I truly hope we do not succumb to the same National Enquirer type politics and entertainment that we saw last year. If one of our leaders continues to ignore the call of the people to work together in good faith and with respect, then I ask the rest of us to just ignore the noise, look for replacements, and move forward. Guamanians deserve no less from the government that they're paying for, that you're paying for. Thank you. May God bless us all.